Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 4 of the T&Z show. We're still going strong, and we're back. You're welcome. How you doing today, Zach?
I'm good, T.
Good,
Troy.
man. Thanks, man. Hey, exciting news. If you watched a couple episodes ago, which I know you did, because who misses an episode of the T&Z show, right?
My brother watches.
There you go. Well,
Yeah.
this is for your brother. I spelled his name right the last few
You
times.
did. I saw it on the thing.
I've been doing it right, so Z-A-C-H. If you don't know what we mean, go back and watch. I think it was episode 2.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Well, the last episode, we talked about our first sponsor, Sparkling Ice. So thank you for not sponsoring us, Sparkling Ice.
You know what's crazy?
Yeah.
I forgot to text you. The second we did that later that day,
Yeah.
like we do all streaming services.
Yeah.
You know, but the commercials, like they're starting to be Sparkling Ice commercials. now.
Yeah, I know. They're starting
Like
to
they
get
weren't
bigger.
there.
Mm-hmm.
There was never like advertising commercials for them on like shows and stuff.
Yeah.
And then we do that, and then like
Well, I really think it's because of our show, right? We pushed them over the edge as far as giving them that extra exposure.
we push the needle.
And they didn't respond to our post, by the way. So thanks a lot for that, for showing us up, Sparkling Ice. But hey, I got even bigger news today. We officially have our first sponsor. You ready for it?
No.
You're not ready?
No.
Well, you know it. Okay, why do we do this podcast, Zach?
Wait, why do we do this?
Yeah, why do we do this podcast? Tell our audience.
Because we have these conversations anyways.
Exactly. And we do it for money. Because we make so much money off this thing because of all the views and sponsors we get. And so today, I am super excited to share with you the T&Z Bible, okay? We're going to start selling Bibles. And it's the T&Z version. I got this idea from a friend recently. I don't know if you heard of him. His name's Donald Trump. I think he's doing it as well.
No.
Yes, so it's Make America Great Again by
No, Troy.
praying, right? But here's the difference between our Bible and his Bible. Our Bible is $58.99, okay?
I'm gone.
No. And it's autographed by T&Z. You're welcome.
No.
Next.
No.
Oh, he had no idea I was going to do that. He's mad.
We don't endorse anything. No.
All right.
Let's talk sports.
Let's talk sports. Hey, first and foremost, let's talk. We had a brief conversation about this today, and it was already in the rundown that you don't get to see.
I never see the rundown.
Gas station food.
Yes.
Gas station food. This is my favorite coffee in the Tri-Cities, located in Washington State, and it's by Maverick. Best coffee in the world. So thank you, Maverick.
Low key, the pastrami sandwich at Maverick.
Okay, come
is
on.
money.
What
Gas
is
station pastrami.
what is it about gas station food that is just extra delicious?
Most places it's nasty. I lived in Utah or Wyoming and Utah, and Maverick gas station food is actually. So I had season tickets to the Major League Soccer team,
Yeah.
Real Salt Lake.
Yep.
And you know how like stadiums have like restaurants in them, but they had like a Maverick. It wasn't the whole gas station, just it's called Bonfire is the food part.
Yeah.
In the stadium, there's a Maverick Bonfire.
No way.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
dude. And I'm like, I know it's what I could get at the gas station, but I'm still gonna go. It's awesome. I'd get that in Dippin' Dots.
Was the price ridiculous because it was in the stadium? Or was it about the same?
It was a couple dollars more,
A couple dollars more?
but it wasn't like. Yeah, it was more, but it wasn't maybe what you'd expect.
Okay. Well, speaking of prices, I don't know if you heard, this is big news, okay? The Dollar Tree is raising their prices again. What are your thoughts on that?
Everyone's raising prices.
That's very true. I read an article about it today, and I thought of it. That's why I threw it in here today, because it went from being everything $1 to last year, they were like, hey, our high price is now $5. Well, guess what it's jumping to in late 2024, early 2025? Just take a wild guess. What's the high price going to be, you think?
$2.50.
I just said the high price is $5.
I wasn't listening.
He doesn't listen.
I zone out. I
We're literally talking to each other.
I literally yell
And
at
you're
my
not-
9-year. I literally yell at my 9-year-old, which is his birthday, by the way.
Oh,
today.
shout
Happy
out.
birthday, Elijah!
Happy birthday, man.
I literally yell at him for doing what I just did to you.
There.
I
not even listening.
I didn't.
There's
I didn't
nobody else in
hear
this
anything.
room. It's just me and
See,
you.
Shady, you're not the only one. I do that too.
Jeez, man. What'd you get for the birthday present? What's the big present this year? Or what does he want and what is he actually getting? How about that? Let's go with that.
So
He's not going to see it until later, so it'll be okay.
we haven't got him anything yet. We're gonna do what my parents. Hey, here's how much you got. Go pick out your own gift.
That's the best kind of gift. That's a good topic. We'll talk about that next time about the best kind of gift. Is it just like a gift card?
Grandparents got him really cool stuff, and one of the grandparents are coming tonight. So
Oh, nice. That's
so
right.
so our older boys.
The in-laws are coming
Yeah.
to town.
Yeah, dude, it's
Why didn't I
gonna-
bring? Oh, that's another topic.
It's awesome. But so we're getting way sidetracked, but I don't care. So our other boys have birthdays in the summer. So like Jevers, our youngest, has gone to family for his birthday, and has had family up here for his birthday. It's just because it's easier in summer. Well,
Yeah.
Elisha, with birthday being so close to Easter, always, and in the school year, you know, both our sets of grandparents live in different places. Like, we don't have family, you know, we have some family an hour away, but like Shani and I's parents aren't close.
Yeah.
So he's not really ever got to have family for his birthday.
Yeah, for sure.
And so this year, grandparents pull in tonight. So that's
Grandparents
pretty
are coming to
exciting.
town. The in-laws are coming to town. Let's go.
But he still has to go to soccer practice.
Needs to go get better. What does a 9-year-old? What's like their wish list nowadays? I'm just curious because I almost have a 9-year-old.
I don't know that I can base what every 9-year-old wants on my. He is a creative.
Okay.
He's very. God's gonna use him in so many cool ways, but he's in like his own world, and right now, one of his best friends moved away, and how he's like kind of handling it or dealing with it.
Yeah.
Is he's writing an adventure book, and him and his friend that moved are like the main characters.
That's awesome.
So right now he's really into like drawing and writing. So
Wow.
like we've got him some like, you know, like arts, and not like just crayon, you know, like but the charcoal
For sure.
coloring pen, you know.
Yeah.
So that and Squishmallows are a big deal.
Squishmallows. My kids
Squishmallows
love
are a big deal.
Squishmallows, dude.
Yeah.
There's so many of them. I want to go back. That's an awesome dream of his to write this book with his buddy. That's super cool.
He's making a chapter book.
That's awesome. There's nothing better than when two friends come together and start a project.
You know what? When he finishes it, I'll bring the first copy before it gets published.
Oh, there we go. And we'll get a first take here on the TMZ show. Did you get my inside little joke there a minute ago when I said there's nothing cooler than when two friends come together and start a project? You missed it because he's not listening again. We need to go to counseling.
We need to go to counseling.
I'm not feeling listened to right now on a podcast.
I feel unheard.
Yes. We're going to get in trouble. You better watch it. All right, let's get to the next thing. I do want to take a second here. We like to have fun, talk about random dumb things. But you're wearing a Grace Point Church sweatshirt, right? Which is pretty cool.
You're wearing an FCA shirt.
I am. We're representing our brands.
I want to say it's Work Shirt Wednesday, but it's Thursday.
Hey, we'll just go with that. They don't know it's Thursday. You
True.
just gave
And
it
we
away.
usually film on Fridays. Work Shirt Wednesday on a
Work
Thursday.
Shirt Wednesday. FCA and Grace Point Church represented well here in the Tri-Cities. What do you guys got coming up for the people that watch it inside of the Tri-Cities, or not inside, but live in the Tri-Cities? What do you guys got coming up that they could do that would be messy and fun for the family?
So this Sunday we have our Easter service, 10:30.
They're not going to see that until after, but nice plug there, buddy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Easter egg hunt. It's going to be awesome. It was awesome by the time this comes out. But May 4th at Chihuahua Park Shelter 1,
May 4th.
9 to noon, we are doing a color run. It is completely free.
Mm-hmm.
It may be Star Wars themed.
Ooh.
We're also planning on breaking out just some hot dogs at the end.
Come on now.
So it's gonna.
And the hot dogs are free too?
Yeah, everything's
Free food.
Everything's free.
Star Wars. What is a color run?
So you jog or run, and people toss color powder on you. And so we usually do 3 races, 2 regular, 1 long. But this year, we're gonna add a 4th race, and we're gonna call it a toddler trot.
No,
So
that's
just
awesome.
and what we do, instead of like, you know how most runs are like,
Your son's
they're-
gonna win, dude.
They're 3Ks or like 5Ks or whatever.
Yeah.
We don't do like a course, a path. What we do is, you know, the park at Chihuahua Park.
Yeah.
the shelter is right in front of that, right? So what we
Yep.
do is we just run 4 laps around the
Nice.
playground.
Yeah.
So it's different than a lot of other. And instead of doing the one long one, we do 3 ones. But this year we'll do like a short one, like a 1 lapper or maybe less for the toddlers.
So I can come and leave my kids at the park and just run in circles around them. That's perfect.
Yeah.
So May 4th, Chiawana Park, free hot dogs, possibly Star Wars are going to be involved in this. Fun for the whole family. If I don't want to run, I can walk.
Yeah, you don't need to be a runner to come.
And I get
We'll
it. Me and my kids get to get paint thrown on us or powder
Color
powder thrown on us, and remind us the time one more time. What time?
9 to noon.
What time does the event actually start? Registration is at 9 or what?
9. The first race is probably 9:30.
9:30. Okay.
But we welcome people and we
Yes.
have people register. There's a registration link. If you register ahead of time, it's easy, and we already have you marked down.
Yeah, we'll put that in one of our
Yeah.
videos. That link. Cool. Awesome. I love it. Thanks for doing that. It's fun to see those kinds of things being done in the community. I want to talk about now something super important, aka not important. You know what today is, Zach?
2 or 3 days after Iowa survived a tough game against West Virginia.
Oh, there's that Caitlin Clark plug again. This is no longer the TNZ show. It's the Caitlin Clark show.
And so since we're already there,
Let's just go there.
I'd say we misquote sports stuff, and I said
we're 100% accurate here.
Well, when I said that Molly girl
Yeah.
from Iowa,
That's why we're selling Bibles, by the way.
she wasn't the one that made the block that I gave the. It was a girl named Gabby Marshall. So I quoted the wrong person making
And I
the block.
tagged the wrong person. I tagged them in our teasers.
But I'm sorry, Gabby Marshall. I'm sorry. I'm a bad fan for not knowing all the names.
No,
But I still believe they're gonna win.
All right, I don't want to be mean to you or Molly, but when I did tag Molly, I saw her profile, right? Because I was like, who is this girl? I was like, man, she's pretty short for getting some game-winning block because she looked like a small guard. And I was like, that's pretty impressive. Now it makes sense.
She's actually been, if I saw the interviews right, and I could be very wrong.
Yeah.
I think she's actually been hurt and hoping to play in the next round.
Oh, well, good luck to
soon.
Molly. I never
So-
want to see an athlete get hurt.
We
So,
know we're gonna be wrong, and we will correct our mistakes.
probably not. But hey, let's stay on Caitlin Clark because we're already there, and I did have it in here. Should she take the $5 million offer to play in the big 3-on-3 basketball league that nobody cares about?
Yes!
Dude, that was loud.
I know.
He was listening there. She got offered $5 million to play in the Big Three, and she still gets to play in the WNBA. That's in her contract with Mr. Ice Cube.
Listen, there is. Well, and I watched some interviews. He's like, listen, we weren't gonna make the offer public.
Yeah.
But it got leaked, so we're just gonna,
Yep. Which is crazy to me. I think they said they didn't want to leak it, but I think there's always a reason why they leak it because it gives them free advertisement too, right? The Big Three. But
that is smart business.
it's super smart business. Get her in there with the guys and let her dominate.
But what is she good at? The logo shot. They've got the 4-point shot.
Exactly. And it's 3-on-3.
She doesn't have to body up.
Yep, and you can space.
They got to set her a screen or two.
Yep.
She's got to get to the 4-point spot.
Yep. All right. Well, the Caitlin Clark edition of our show that's on every one of our shows is now over. Let's move on to what I was getting to before Caitlin Clark took over, and that's Zach. What is today? Do you know what today is? If you don't, wink at me. There you go. That was a fancy wink. Is that how you won Shani over with that wink?
I don't know.
Well, that was pretty impressive. All right, I can't wink either, so I can't make fun of you. Today is opening day officially for the MLB.
No one cares.
It's true. I actually brought it up because my brother's he's more of a baseball fan than I am. I'm not the biggest baseball fan, but here's my frustration.
Here's the thing, game 1 literally means nothing.
Exactly. Why? Because how many games do they play?
162.
Good job, Zach. For a soccer fan, he knows his stuff.
I remember, until I was made bitter, I loved baseball as a kid.
162 game season, and you want me to get excited about game 1 opening day. MLB, that's a joke. And anybody excited right now, and most of my friends are all, posting to their stories on Instagram and retweeting or reacting, whatever you call it nowadays, their favorite teams, promo. I'm like,
here's
why?
What I'm gonna say. Major League Baseball. Maybe you like baseball, you know this, but I want people to come to my games, right? On a Thursday, a work business day, I'm going to schedule a game at 2 p.m. or noon. Why? Why? Because your clientele is at work or school.
I mean, we're working really hard on a Thursday, business day.
Shut up.
Okay. Last topic I got before we jump back into what we started talking about in our last episode.
Hold on, we both work really hard.
We do. Look at him getting all, he's got to cover up now, right? He's like, shoot, my boss might watch this.
Love you, Pastor.
He should love us. We're selling Bibles, man. We're spreading the hope of Jesus through Bibles. Okay, March Madness.
I don't endorse him.
March Madness update. It's officially Sweet 16 weekend, so we're not going to know the results of the winners. What are your? I don't really have any thoughts because
my opinion hasn't changed. UConn.
UConn still.
No.
Did you get to watch any of the games?
A little bit.
What was the game that you most enjoyed, or at least read about or followed afterward? Girls or guys, and don't say Caitlin Clark's game, please, because they almost blew it twice. But keep going.
Well, I actually, I was a bad coach. Partway through practice, I pulled the game on my phone and was like, I'd look up every few seconds.
At your soccer practice? Attaboy. That is a good coach right there. Priorities, right?
Yeah.
How about this? What's your prediction for any big upcoming games? How about since we'll stay local here, Zags Purdue Friday night. Who do you got?
I don't think the Zags have anyone that can stop Edie.
I know they didn't play him I wouldn't say tough the first time, but they were kind of with him for a little bit. I know that was a long time ago at the beginning of the season. But yeah,
I think my predictions, the one thing I think I probably did get wrong is I didn't have Purdue in the Final Four, but watching them now, I think if things shake out the way they probably should, I think they'd beat Tennessee, and it'll probably be Purdue making it that far.
Yeah. Purdue,
but then I think if I saw the bracket right, I think they would play Connecticut in the Final Four.
This was the first year?
No, they wouldn't. They'd play Houston.
Okay. I can't even speak to the brackets because I did not fill out a bracket this year, man. That's how much I don't care about March Madness.
I had my youth do one.
Did you? I usually do it for our baseball team too, and then at our church, but we just dropped the ball. So, all right, man. You ready to jump into some fun stuff?
Let's do it.
Okay, so the last episode, we both got to share a little bit about confidence, right? Mm-hmm. And specifically, we talked about how do you respond when you lose confidence? And we both shared our thoughts, which were really good. I really enjoyed what you had to say. I shared a little bit about my life and a season that I just went through.
Dude, that was super awesome.
Yeah. It wasn't fun. It was kind of, honestly though, Zach, I got to say, even though what was cool about it was sharing it on here was the first time I've talked about it publicly. But then I preached at church. I think it was the next Sunday, but it was the Sunday after.
Yeah. And
I was able to tie that season of life that I talked about. And if you want to hear about what I'm talking about, go watch the episode. I'm not going to give it away. See how I'm plugging us. See how that goes? And go buy one of our Bibles.
So you have to watch us to hear about us.
Yeah, there you go. See how selfish we are? Anyways.
I had an idea. I'm going to interrupt.
Go. See, he's not listening again. That's why he's interrupting.
We should have a replacement episode where our wives come on here instead of us.
I've already thought about that. Sorry. And good luck convincing Courtney to do that. But I'll let you call her and talk to her about that. I would love to have them on though, because then they could be 100% truthful and they could share the dirt of the TNZ, the real TNZ, right?
But that'd be our most watched episode.
It would be our most watched episode, and it would be our most truthful and accurate episode as well. But I don't know if we want to do that or not, do we?
I don't know. That I feel like them coming on here talking about us would get us in less trouble than the things that we say.
That's probably true, and it's usually you.
Although today it's you.
It is totally me. That's okay though. Go buy one of our Bibles.
You're
link in bio. Oh, you won't find it. But anyways, back to the serious topic. I don't even know where I was going with all that. Do you remember where we were going?
Picking up from confidence last time.
Picking up where we left off. Yeah, and then you began to ask a question that I'm going to flip back to you at the very end, and then I can share a little bit if you want me to. We shared about what it looked like in our lives to lose our confidence. Oh, that's what I was getting at. At church, I shared my story.
Yep.
Right? And so sharing it on here really prepared my heart and gave me the courage to share it from stage a couple weeks later. And so I was able to talk about that season of life, and I talked about the confidence level and all that fun stuff and how I responded, which is what we're going to talk about today. It's the how. So you would ask me, how do you what do you do? Like, how do you keep your confidence in those seasons where life punches you in the face because of either...
And then the battery died.
And then the battery died, right? Which today we plugged it in.
We're becoming pros.
We are. We actually have better lighting today. If you notice, my head's shinier because we have better lighting. But and we have a sponsor. Where's that product at?
No.
Oh, don't. Okay. Anyways,
we have no sponsor.
We have no sponsor. Someone please sponsor us just for fun. We're for free even. But we'll actually pay you. We'll pay you to have a sponsor. But let's talk about that. Let's get back on track. Are you listening right now?
I'm listening.
Okay. Geez, Zach. Talk to me about maybe some things you've learned over the years from mentors, resources you've listened to, read, or even just personal experience. How do you keep confidence? Like, what are some ways that people can learn from you or from just things you've learned on how to keep confidence in those seasons?
I mean, I don't think anyone has ever said to me hey, when you don't have confidence, this is how you handle it. But from what I've seen, what I've learned,
yeah.
I've not had someone like a mentor come in and say, hey, you're not confident, here's how you shake it. I've not had that experience.
Yep.
But just through the things I've learned, and even hearing you last week, I think as I've gotten older, understanding that identity isn't in the outcome.
Yeah, totally.
And I think someone, the first youth pastor I interned under, he said, figure out who you are before what you do. And I think a lot of my confidence issues came from what I do or what I'm not able to do, right? Mm-hmm. And so for me, understanding that character and the person I am is more important than what I'm doing or the other stuff.
It's good. And
knowing that we're in our 30s and we're both in the ministry world, right? And so but ministry, it's different because everyone has a career path and stuff. Ministry, if it's your job and it's what you're doing, yeah, it is a career.
Yeah.
But it's a calling.
Absolutely.
And so for me, something I really struggled with, why I didn't have confidence, was when I decided it was time to stop fighting my call to ministry and to try to be youth pastor. Nobody, I was sending in all these applications and no one would touch me.
Yeah.
No one, I wasn't getting, half the time I wasn't even getting anyone responding. I wasn't getting opportunities. And I'm seeing my friends from college, they made these connections and we're getting all these cool opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a year. And then I started I don't know if I've shared this on here, but I was applying for positions and my buddy's hey, it may not happen right now.
Yeah.
Why don't you come live in my basement and be my associate? It was volunteer, but
yeah.
So I'm really hung up on confidence is in what, I talked about last week, what I do is who I am. Mm-hmm. I really struggle with that. Mm-hmm. And I'm confident when things are going well, mm-hmm. and I'm not when things aren't happening or I'm not able to do what I think I'm meant to do.
Yeah.
And so I was really struggling. Dude, I'm having to live in my friend's basement. I'm in my mid-20s, mm-hmm. and I'm a volunteer mm-hmm. associate. Mm-hmm. And so my confidence was really shaken. He's figure out what you do for who you are. And so I've really had to learn yes, I feel I had a call to ministry and I was wrestling with, is this real? Is it not? Because opportunities just weren't coming. Mm-hmm. And I struggle with that. And I'm living in a basement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it took a weird, unique opportunity out of left field to remind me, hey, if God's called me to invest in the next generation, mm-hmm. who cares if I get paid to do it or if I have a title?
Yeah.
And so I think sometimes and I get this is sort of going off confidence, but I was mixing calling and vocation. And sometimes those things line together.
Yeah.
And sometimes they don't.
Absolutely.
And so, but I really was hung up in what I do was who I was. And at the time, I wasn't able to do what I thought I was supposed to. And so I had no confidence. So I think for me, understanding who I've had to learn that God designed me and made me on purpose, for a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm living that out, that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so I don't need something I've really learned now that I finally have the position that I've worked to. And like, I thought confidence would just be there because it's like, all right, now I'm finally a youth pastor.
Yep, exactly.
Well, something that our pastors really helped me understand more and more is a title is like the lowest level
Mm-hmm.
of leadership or influence.
Absolutely.
And so really like for me to understand, because I think we get caught up, I was getting caught up in this American dream, right?
Yeah.
Even though I'm chasing Jesus and I'm a big about like chase the Jesus dream, American dream, but like I want all the things everyone else has too. And I have to slow myself down.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's like, am I getting so caught up in that like I have to have the impressive title?
Mm.
And I was letting things of my past control this idea that I needed this.
Mm-hmm.
So I think for me, I let the wrong things dictate the path I was pursuing in the first place. I was doing the right thing, but with the wrong motives.
There you go. Yeah.
And so I really had to be like, hey, you're not ready for, like, God had to be like, you're not ready for me to open this door yet until you can be okay understanding this door whenever you open. And then when I got married and I had, I moved to Washington, I really wrestled with, and I wasn't the best husband and new father because my confidence was in what I did. For a year, I wasn't a youth pastor. And instead of like, dude, this is the best thing in my life, like a girl that's way out of my league chose to marry me.
Yeah, yeah.
And now I'm a dad of 2 awesome boys,
Yeah.
an instant dad.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I'm not a youth pastor.
Yeah.
And Shani and I have, I've talked to her a little bit about it and stuff since then, but like, I've gotten so caught up on certain paths that was where my comments from, not, am I being the husband I'm supposed to? Am I being the dad I'm supposed to? So I feel like I'm not answering the question.
No, you are.
And it's taking me off, but like,
this is good.
I'm more like, but so I think for me, it's honestly been the simplest answer that could probably erase the last 10 minutes is I've learned from failing to put my confidence in the right things.
There you go.
So by putting my confidence and my identity in the wrong things, I've been left with incredible insecurity. So when my confidence is in the wrong things, like what I do, how people see me, how I see me, and not in how he sees me and how he created me. So there's not been necessarily a phrase, a thing. It's just been looking back, here's why I didn't have confidence at this time.
Yeah.
And here's what gave me and who gave me confidence.
Yeah, the who, right?
So a lot of it's, really cliche, but a lot of it's been failing. I feel like God has used the moments where I miss the mark and fail to like having the most confidence ever in my life.
Yep.
Like for whatever reason, confidence has come after failures.
There you go.
And that sounds weird, but that's just...
Yeah, I can relate to that.
I'm pretty hard-headed. Like, it'd be nice just to say, don't get... hear people say, don't get caught... It's better to learn from my story than experience it yourself. I kind of have to experience it for myself. Like...
Yeah.
Like, so, I don't know. I'm going to shut up. That's me.
No, that's good, man.
What about you?
I'm going to tie in... I've shared this before, but I coach baseball here at Chiawana High School.
Yeah, man.
Not too far from here, Grace Point Church here in Pasco. And I've been coaching there for a long time, and I've shared with how much you know Severo, the head coach of our program. He's just such
Awesome
an
dude.
incredible dude. And so he gives me an opportunity every day at practice to share for 5 minutes before practice, just to get the guys going and get them excited and get them locked in and focused for the day. And what we talk about for those 5 minutes is we go over our core values with Chiawana. And we have these core values, and they're defined by a word, which then triggers, the meaning behind the word, right? So I can say energy, and our boys know what that means. And why I bring this up to answer the question of like how do you keep confidence in seasons where you lose it, either because of failure or just because life sometimes happens, right? Is I would recommend for people, and I've learned this. I would say I guess I've read about it and I've known it, but I've really had to live it, the last few months. And what's helped me is our baseball team and honestly my church, Hope Tri-Cities, because they have core values as well. And I bring that up because recently we were losing a game like 16-1, which is a really bad baseball score, right? And I coach JV, so it's the JV life. And I remember looking into our dugout, and our boys were just like dead, right? They just no energy. They weren't being competitive. They weren't being tough. They weren't being selfless, like all of our core values that we talk about at Chiawana. And I remember looking in the dugout and after the game, talking to them like, hey, listen, obviously we just got our what kicked, right? I won't say that word on here because there's kids watching. But the reality is we can't have a core value of ours be energy and then not live out that core value of energy even when things aren't going our way, right? Because how easy is it to smile and be happy when things are good?
Well, I was going to say, it is easy to live out who you are and who you're trying to be when things are going right.
Absolutely.
And to have confidence when things are going right.
Yes. Yeah, we can all relate to that.
But
when you're losing 16-1 on a Saturday in front of a bunch of parents and other athletes, it's embarrassing. It sucks. It's discouraging.
The moments I've failed in my life, it's like, well, this isn't what I'm supposed to do, or I'm not good because I can't do it right.
Yes.
So it's like, how do you stay the course? And obviously, we talked about this weeks ago, but like the why.
Yeah.
This confidence, and I know I'm kind of interrupting your time, but like it all comes back to the why.
Yeah, exactly. And so I share that 16-1 story, and I share the core values that Chiawana has, and that we try to teach our kids, and we try to remind them of them daily. And there's nothing more fun for me to remind our kids of our core values in the moments when you're supposed to be living them out. Because when I give my little 5-minute talks before practice, that's easy, right?
Yeah.
We're all circled up. We're all in a safe environment. There's no pressure. There's nothing bad going on. We're not winning. We're not losing. It's just a safe environment. We're just talking about it. But being able to live out those core values when you're in the middle of a game is a whole nother level. And when you begin to see kids do that during a game, that's when you know you have buy-in. But here's why I bring all that up, to answer the question. I talked to the kids about this specifically. I said our core values, visualize them as a compass. And what does a compass do for you? Even though I don't know how to use a compass. It tells you what direction you're going.
Have you ever used one?
Absolutely.
Oh, I never have.
I never have
Or
either.
at least I'm blind, so maybe they just never gave it to me.
I never. There you go. You know what my go-to word is for responses? Absolutely. I say that a lot.
You do.
That's awesome. But anyways, you learn that as you see yourself on camera from time to time. But back to the compass that neither of us know how to use. One, you can't see, and two, I don't know how to use it.
I can't see. Also, even if the thing points the direction, when you can't see, you have no concept of direction.
There you go. So that's the perfect explanation of a compass, right? It's going to tell you the direction you're going, and then if you're going the wrong direction, it's going to get you back on track, right?
Yeah.
So that's what core values do for our athletes at Chiawana, and that's why we drive them home so much. And I got to give a shout out to John Kazir as well, our athletic director, because he's the one that makes our programs come up with core values and then teach our core values. And
that's
so
huge.
It comes from the top, and he learned that from Brian Kane, who's this incredible sports mental toughness coach. I don't know how his title is, but he's an awesome. Go follow that guy. He's an encourager. But I share that with you guys today. I say that like there's an audience around, right? That's our public speaking coming out. Because I would say this: if you're in a light season where you're struggling with confidence, and I'm speaking to myself, I'm speaking to you, and I'm speaking to whoever's going to see this. I would encourage you to sit down and come up with some core values for your own life. Because what that will do for you is when you find yourself in one of those uncomfortable situations or seasons where you feel like you're off track and you just don't know, how do I get back on track? How do I get back to being confident? How do I get back to feeling secure from insecure? How do I get heal from being in pain? How do I, all these things we could say, how do I get back to being encouraged when I've been in a season of discouragement? I truly believe when you create core values for yourself, those can be the pillars of your life that keep you on track, because that's who you really are, right? You said it, like your choices and the season you find yourself don't always define who you are. At times they can if you keep making the same mistake, but most of the time they don't. And so I would just recommend to whoever in life in general, come up with some core values. Come up with whether it's a mission statement for yourself, which every organization has. This is nothing new. It's not like your church has them, other churches have them. Coca-Cola, thank you Coca-Cola for being on today, has them. Maverick, thank you Maverick, has them. They all have a vision statement, a mission statement. They all have like core values.
Do you know who kills it at that?
Who?
Apple. They're so good at selling, like, they don't sell their product.
Yeah.
They sell their lifestyle
and that's why
I used to tell people if they made toilet paper, I'd buy it.
Well, and they also make really good products too. That helps a little bit as well. But anyways, that'd be my answer to the question is create some core values for yourself, and then don't just create them and leave them behind. What we've done at our baseball program that's really helped at least our staff. I can't say for our athletes. We think that it's helping them. Is we're keeping them in front of us every single day, so that when we're in those good days, we got them and we're good. After we get swept, we still have our core values, and that's who we are. It's not the scoreboard; it's our core values.
So I wish I could have answered this earlier.
Yeah,
because I ramble, so I could have saved us a lot of time and said something more eloquent. But
what the good news is?
Came to me.
Before you forget it, is you can ramble all you want because it don't matter. We're not on a time crunch.
True. And you can edit stuff out.
No, we don't edit it. This is all raw and real.
But I think just like also besides like putting my confidence in the wrong things, the what I do, how others see me, how I see me, like, and that always misses the mark, is I think I used to let seasons define me.
For sure.
But now I've learned to let those seasons refine me. So our circumstances don't define us, but we can let them refine us. We can let God refine us in those seasons.
Yeah.
And so when we let those moments be, it sounds so cheesy, but when we let those moments be learning moments and growing moments, you look at sports, like some teams have these big failures and big mistakes, and they never recover. And athletes, and they never recover. And then some teams, like, they learn from them, and those motivate them. Like Virginia, however many years ago.
Oh, and they lost to the 16th seed, right?
What do they do the next year?
They win it all. Yeah, and Bennett talked about that in the postgame.
Yeah.
We'll have to look that up and share it.
Dude, like, that's the thing. Like, so I think it's, as cheesy as it sounds, is it a failure, is it a learning or a growing moment?
Yeah.
And not letting the moment define you, but let the moment let God refine you in the moment.
Absolutely. We're going to end right there. Thanks for all that. I love hearing you share your heart. I do want to say one thing to the camera because I think it's important when we talk about these things. At the end of the day, me and Zach, we rely upon God. That's who we love. That's who makes us who we are. And so for us, at the end of the day, as Zach said, it's the who when it comes to our confidence. And I don't know whether we have 1 view or 1 million views, if you ever see something on one of our clips, just know our heartbeat behind everything we say comes from Jesus. And so if you have more questions about that, or
we'd love to talk to you.
If something sparks in you, just reach out to us. We're pretty easy to find. So that's the end of episode 4. Always got
Before
one more.
End it, I'm going to take your serious, very important, seriously, if you want to know more about Jesus, but going back to what you said, I'm going to end this, and we're not going to say anything. We're not going to say goodbye. This is going to be the last thing we say. Jesus is our compass.